Buenas, buenas. Welcome to Music Marketing TV. I'm Kevin Ochoa, and today I'm gonna bring you a very different video. As you can see, there's no headphones on me. There's also no music ready to go from the get-go. So what does this mean? Well, I was asked to do a whole new series for FabFilter Twin 3, and the first video series I did for Twin 3 was really heavy on sound design and recreating other sounds of the past. And in this video series, what I want to do is something a little bit different. I want to compose 3 to 4 songs, so a little EP, with just FabFilter Twin 3 sounds in the synth section. I will, try to use just Twin 3 for the most part. However, if I do need acoustic sounds or acoustic percussion, I will include them. And once all that production is done, I'll use only FabFilter plugins to do the mixing. So whether that's distortion with Saturn 2, an equalizer with Pro Q3, or limiting with FabFilter Pro L2, I'll be doing all that with just FabFilter software. So this is gonna be a fun little challenge because we're just gonna be using one synthesizer, which is Twin 3. And I'm gonna try to get a palette of different sounds. And throughout the different videos in the series, I think it's gonna be 5 videos. I'll be showing you, my steps, to creating that EP. So yeah, there's gonna be something that's gonna be really fun. And I'm gonna start off with just using FL Studio Twin 3 and just running out ideas and some sound design, of course, because that's really part of, in my case of production, it's sound design is a real big part of that. So what I want to do this first couple episodes, maybe the first and the second, is just scope out ideas and scope out sound ideas and also scope out musical ideas. So what I'll do is I'll maybe make like 20-30 different small ideas that are just a couple bars long, and then after that we're going to pick up the ones that make sense together and maybe some that are really different, and we're going to organize them. And from there, I'm going to select the ones that will become songs, okay? And then probably the third and fourth video, we're going to do arrangement and mixing of the songs. And the last one's going to be probably just like doing the final details and mastering. So yeah, it's going to be really exciting. But again, all this is going to be with Twin 3. So all the sound design is going to be Twin 3. And yeah, it's going to be really great. Man, I'm really repeating myself here. But yeah, I'm super excited about this. So let's get ready to go. And what I'll do is I'll just shut down the mic for a second. I'll start writing some ideas and I'll start sharing with you what I like and what I don't like, from the ideas that I get. And I guess what I'll do is I'll record a bit, like maybe 40 minutes or an hour, and I'll just let the video capture continue. And then from there, I will come back over here to the camera and then speak on what I've done and, choose the things that I do like. Okay, so I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, I spent the last 5 minutes speaking to the mic without actually having phantom power on. But anyway, let me show you this patch. Now, I said I wouldn't get really into a lot of patches, but after working like an hour or so, I really, really liked the sound that I made. And I just made it out of pure curiosity. I was like, what if I make a really high boost on a peak in the low end and another peak on the high end, kind of like a wow filter or like a vocal filter, and then I create a notch in the mid range. So I did it, and it's such a simple patch, but it sounds so great. Oof, it just sounds so great. It sounds so chunky, so fuzzy. Yeah, this is just amazing. There's an airplane going by up there, and I have the window open. Sorry about that. Um, but yeah, it just sounds really, really good. And I don't think we could get like this sound out of many synthesizers because there's so much emulation going on, and they're not really trying to sell yourself short by giving you some really old school filters. We have, the capability of having some really well filters like classic, gentle, raw, and right now I'm just using the classic one. Um, but even the classic one, we can peak it and we can make um, you know slopes that were not available inside a classic filter. So yeah, we can go places we've never really gone before with these analog type of sounds. So I'm really happy. Like this just opens up your the sound palette to like a whole new realm of a bit of possibilities within analog emulation that we simply didn't have before. Now, so that's basically one saw wave running through like three filters, and it sounds spectacular. Now I'm just gonna grab another waveform. I'm gonna grab the square wave, and I'm applying some pulse width on it. Now this is what it sounds like. So you get that fuzziness from the phase distortion or within the filters, and then we get the oscillation and the movement from them. It's really, really fantastic. Eh, like I said, I'm really, really enjoying the synth at the moment. I'm using it in all my productions, so I'm really excited to like see out the video through and see what I can make just using Twin 3. Okay, so I'm gonna hop back into production again and composition. All right, so see you guys in a bit. Okay, so I just want to update you, and I have a couple minutes of music written already, so I want to share some of the stuff with you. So let's go ahead and make my head small. And here I have the first demo that I worked on. It's a bit orchestral-ish, even though it's all synth, and also like synth pop a little bit. So a little bit between there. So let's take a listen to it. Okay, I like it. It's a bit rough, like the little ending right here. Well, it's not the ending. It just I just want to give that effect for you guys right now. But so far, I'm pretty happy with it. Um, I like the little idea right here. It's really simple, but I really like it, especially when it comes into with this. I was trying to copy the sound of a piano, getting you know um, stabbed a little bit harder. So I really like how we have a bit of a deeper sound with the piano stab and the bass rolling in the back, and then the little flute type of sound up there. And that is a little variation in the preset. Let me show you. Actually, it's not even. I made this myself. I thought it was a one of the presets, but I guess I changed it out. Yeah, I just worked on like so much stuff. You guys are gonna see in a bit. Um, so I want to create like this tremolo effect with an LFO. So I went ahead and I modulated the second filter right here. So it's a little band reject, or it's a notch. That's instead of going positive, it's going negative right there. So it's doing a cut. If I slow down that frequency, it sounds a bit more hard on the ears. But like if you speed up too much, you kind of get some FM and some RM modulation type of sounds. But roughly right there sounds really, really sweet. So I like it like that. And then there's two other EQs that I've applied. So these are running parallel. So I wanted to create like phasiness between them, which is why I put that notch right there that's going down. And then I have other two EQs that are just solid, like in the, not moving at all. And then we have a filter frequency offset, and I'm modulating that with an envelope generator right here. Because I want to have like a something between like a bowed and a blown instrument, so a wind instrument. So sometimes, for example, trumpets they're really present. They go pretty harsh, but like flutes are a little bit softer. So I decided to have an envelope that's a bit softer. Okay. And I quite like it. So then the context of the whole track, it sounds really sweet, especially compared to the piano that's a little bit harsher. And the bass that's but a bit more grungy and dark. And it's just really simple patches, and they sound so good. So I have the a pulse, and then a pulse with some pulse width right here, and then a simple low cut around 200 hertz. I'm not even applying any real keyboard tracking, so it's not really moving that much. Okay, so there you go. And then roughly before that, we have some pads. And the pads, again, I did them from scratch. I have a clean patch right here. And I'm using 4 filters. So what I wanted to create was a pad that was not too heavy in the bass, but was really mid-range focused. So I cut off the higher frequencies, and then I did a low cut as well. And then applied a band roughly around 280 hertz to get rid of some of that muddiness. And I put the peak like negative instead of going up. So without it, it sounds like this. So it definitely sounds warmer, but I wanted to have space for the bass, especially because I wanted to have the warmness of the bass, and then I wanted the pad kind of to float a little bit more, so I got rid of that. And am I doing some modulation? Yeah, so I'm modulating the filter frequency offset throughout the whole 4 or 8 bars, 8 bars. And then along with some automation that I have, let's turn all that automation on. You get that swelling. Let me just try to mute the I'm gonna solo that twin, and then I can't remember which frequency offset it is, so let's turn them all on. I should probably name everything better because I'm gonna probably end up in a mess right now. So you see, it doesn't clutter the mix too much. It's enough to create like this soaring effect, kind of like a string section, but like a bit lower in pitch. So I kind of want to have that effect. And thankfully with synthesizers, because we have such amazing filters, especially here inside FabFilter Twin 3, we're able to filter out some frequencies that we don't need and just move them along, have them filter out and focus more on the high end. And that's kind of what gave me that floating effect. So there you go. And a lot of these I'm not even using the high quality mode turn on, and these still sound really good. So eventually when I render them, I'll probably put them all in high quality, but as of right now, these sound pretty good. Also, keep in mind that I'm writing all these different mini arrangements I have inside one single FLP, so I don't want to overload my CPU. As you can see, sitting at 24 idle. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on right now. If we can see, there's roughly 25 instances of Twin 3. Okay, let's go ahead and look at this other demo. This was a little bit more, I was thinking of like doing some like dubstep-y stuff, or some more trap stuff. This one I had more trouble with, so I did the sketches and I just left it there. I didn't arrange anything. And I think there's that one sounds really odd because I think the top lines are in triplets, and the bottom part, the bass is in quarter notes. Let me fix that real quick. Let's see. Let's try it out. Yeah, okay. So there you go. And then I made another version that's with regular quarter notes. Yeah, and it sounds a bit more groovy, and I think it makes a little bit more sense. I still need to polish it up quite a bit. All they need to be polished up at this point, but this one needs the most work so far. And I kept a little flute thingy, but then I made I used one of the bass patches that I made in one of the other tutorials. So check out the dubstep sound design tutorial with FabFilter Twin 3. We'll put it down in the comment section below or in the description below. So make sure you look at that sound design video. And okay, here we have the screech thingy. And it sounds really good coming from that piano or the flute sound. Yeah, but I just had a difficult time converting it with the rest of the ideas I had in this arrangement. So I just left it there, and I don't want to touch it till like I think about it a little bit more, and then try to see if I can integrate it somewhere, or just leave it there and forget about it. But the next arrangement, I had to do something a little bit more four on the floor and a little bit more hard. So let's check this one out. There's one thing to fix right here. Yeah, it's a little ping pong thingy. It's a little, was a bit off. We can do, let's see, let's do 50-50. Hey, did they just figure out a bug right here? Oh no, okay. Okay, let's do daughters. Okay, so far this is the demo I like the most. It's probably one of the most simple. There's just a lot more movement when it comes to the drums, and it's like it sounds more spacious because there's less instruments, so you can use a lot of reverb. But yeah, I really want to work on this one, and I really want to finish this one up because, as you can see, it makes a lot of sense. We just need to put a little vocal thing. Those like those corny 3, 2, 1, jump type of vocals right here, and I think it's pretty solid already. So yeah, I think it's quite good. The kick drums, they're all Twin 3, like I said. I'm going to try and keep everything within Twin 3. And there's also a sound design video where I go deep into like making a hardstyle track or hard techno track with Twin 3. So we're going to leave that in the comment section below. And the basses that I made, the original basses, they are variations of what I did in that video. So here's some reverse basses. That one's pretty hollow. Let's try out another one right here. That reverse bass sounds like this. That one's a little bit more abrasive. Okay. Check out the other one. That one, along with the kick drum, sounds a little bit more like the classic hardstyle kick. Well, maybe not classic hardstyle, but like some earlier stuff. And then the last one, it's a little, it's kind of like the Corgan 1 type of sound. I think I might have to pitch this one lower, because right now it's playing E. Or at least that's what it sounds like, because it's super, super mega distorted. Because it's one of the harmonics of A, so it's there. But again, these are all like patches I made within Twin 3. Yeah, so this is really, really fantastic. And then there's a little click right here. And it's like the opposite. Instead of like distorting all the low end, I'm distorting the high end, and I'm like narrowing down, cutting out part of the low end, as you can see right there. And then I'm layering that with a pretty standard pitch envelope kick drum. So pretty standard stuff right here. We have a pitch envelope on the kick drum. And it's just one oscillator right there. And I think I'm also, to get an extra clickiness out of it, I'm also applied a envelope on the master tune. And that's a really, really short 8 millisecond envelope right there. So just that little tiny envelope gives you a way harder kick drum. So there you go. That's a really cool, nifty trick. So yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with the stuff I worked on so far today. Probably gonna go get some lunch, and then I'll be back and continue working on these tracks. I'm not sure if I want to work on the hardstyle track even more right now, but I definitely want to work a little bit on making sense of this dubstep thingy, because I think the other 2 tracks are pretty good so far. And then what I'll do tomorrow is I'll start from scratch again, work on some more ideas, and then from there I'll pick out the ones that I like the most and finish working on them in the next or the following episodes. All right, so it's been a couple days since I first started recording and making new music, new sounds for this EP that I want to make for FabFilter Twin 3. And I have some more ideas that I want to share with you. 2 in particular that are really, really great. So those are the ones that I want to share with you. And then this morning I started to work on a new idea. So I want to share that with you as well. Yeah, so I'm really excited how this process is coming along. I already have several ideas, and hopefully some of them can be fleshed out. I guess the second video in the 5-part video series is also going to be writing more ideas and fleshing some of these out to full songs now. But in this case, I do have other ideas that are a couple words long that sound really, really good and texturally quite well already. And right now I have this project open in this version because I already have other versions of this fleshed out. But right here I have a version of a acid track, and I'm barely gonna add drums to this one. So I want to share that with you. After that, I'll show you 2 more tracks that I think are really good and I might want to finish for this EP. And then I'll leave some like 15-20 minutes of just the ideas that were as they were coming to me, and I'll leave that footage of those ideas as I'm creating them and I'm getting that initial spark to create a sound or a melody. And I'll leave that to the very end because it could be a long 15-minute part of the video where I'm not speaking at all, or it could be even longer. So I don't know exactly how long that's going to be once I go into editing, but I just wanted to tell you that I'm going to take my time and go sift through this footage and hours of me working, and I'm going to cut up the pieces where you can see the spark and the initial ideas for some songs and ideas that I had. And I'll leave them for you guys to watch at the very end of when I'm yapping about and explaining some of the things that I like about the sounds and the textures to you. Okay, so without further ado, let's hop over and listen to this demo that I have right here. Sounds a little something like this. Okay, so far the mix for this is really dense, so I think I'm gonna lower the level on a lot of these instruments. It's only 3 right now, but it feels like it's so much more. Okay, and let's add some more twins to start making some drums. What I'll do is my kick template. I already have a kick template that I have for kicks. Here it is. There we go. And then I'll make a new pattern for this. Call it kick 4 times 4. And I'm just gonna put it everywhere here. And then I'll create a fill-in for each 4 steps. I'll press Ctrl L to make it the full length of the 4 notes and drag it back a little bit. Let's pitch this down. And the kick is pretty mellow right now. It's pretty long, but pretty mellow. So I'll do a couple of things. I'm gonna reduce the release. I'm also gonna turn the MIDI notes a little bit more. And I can lower the sustain. Something like that. And then what I'll do is I'm going to add another pitch envelope to the master tuning. And I think I've mentioned this in one of the other tutorials. Something like so. There you go. Let's drive this in. We can use a tad bit of reverb. Can kind of get a gated effect. I could also use a compressor. There we go. Okay, that's pretty tight. Let's give this a mixer track. And like I said earlier, I'm just making projects and adding so many different sounds that belong to different songs to it. Just so I can start scoping out ideas. Okay, let's add another pattern. Let's call it snare build. And I'm gonna do a little bit of cheating. I'm gonna use one of my old MIDI patterns, snare. Okay, and I think I'll do a large. I'm not sure if I have the right choir for this job, but anyway, it's just there to fill in the space right now. I think it's coming on quite nicely. I think I'll use this clap just to layer this with the snare. Maybe I should mute that choir at the very end of the bars. I feel like those saws should be darker and with a lot more reverb. But then at the same time, I feel like they fall too behind. Let me save this preset and then I'll change it for something else. Let's do slight buzz. And then I'll swap it out for like the wild stalls patch that I made. Okay. Then I have these hi-hat things that I made earlier for another demo, which I'll show you in a bit. Okay, hats. Let's see if this works. And that kick is very, very, yeah, it's nice, but I need to reduce the reverb on it. Maybe I should add a Saturn. Let's see. Something like that. There you go. Let's add a Pro C2 right here to do some quick sidechaining. I should probably make a default state for this, but yeah, Pro C2 is so good that I don't know if I'm going to use it as a sidechain or as a regular compressor. So I'll, and it's also so easy to set up that I don't really have to worry much about too many things. cut out the low end. I think a Pro G would work with this. All right, let's check it out. That's some sidechain compression to these other sounds. Set a delay to this. I feel like it really needs it. Oh no, not the kick drum. Okay. Okay, let's lower the feedback a little bit. So I think this is pretty good right now so far for this idea. And I'm going to show you guys the other two ideas that I had. So this is how quick I'm trying to work on some of these, but this is actually probably the quickest one I worked on. Some of the other ones, as you'll see, it takes longer. For example, the orchestral one that I made and the first idea that I had also took a little bit longer to scope out. But so far, let's check this out. It's probably the color filter in this guy. Okay, oof. Okay, that's all quite a bit. We spent like 20 something minutes working on that. But okay, let's leave it like that. I think it's quite good already. And let's move on to the next one. All right, let's go. All right, this is the other track. I'm super excited about this one, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it too. I'm doing a lot of sound design. This is definitely more complex than the other songs so far. And I'm doing physical modeling, kind of, with some of these patches. So I hope you guys enjoy the more natural textures that I created with this one. So let's go ahead and give it a go. All right, there you go. It's probably the one I'm most hyped about. I really like how complex it is. I still need to polish it up a bit, but I think this one's going to be much more, how do you say, much more, I'm going to be more involved with this track than the other ones. And just to show you some of the patches here, there's some of these sounds that I try to recreate and make them sound like actual acoustic sounds. So here's like a French type of bugle or something. And if I were to take the saw waves off of this, it would still sound pretty natural. So basically with this, I'm giving it some raspiness, adding the saw waveforms. Giving it some weight and character as well. Then I'm doing a little bit of syncing right here on this one. Now, most of the magic here is worked via the filters. So I'm actually using a lot of resonance, and these are all in key. As you can see here, here is C2, C4, I believe. Oh, no, that should be, yeah, C5. Actually, no, it should be, it's probably another note here, but it's still in key. Then I have this one over here, and let's see, maybe C6. Yeah, C6. So this is probably a harmonica C right here. And then these is C6 and C2. So I'm boosting those up quite a bit by the whole scale here. In the peak goes up to 1. This goes up to 1, and this one goes up to 0.600. So it's quite aggressive boosting. But what we do with this is what we get is we enhance those frequencies. And we cut out, I'm going to lower this in post, and we cut out some of the stuff that we don't need. And to show you this further, let's just put the white noise. That's what I meant to do originally. So straight up, it's just white noise. And when I activate these filters, we get tones out of them. How cool is that? So it's like a type of a physical modeling type of example. And here I have a drive amount. To create some more saturation and harmonics. A little bit of reverb. So depending on the reverb, we could get a smaller type of room. As if a mic were closer to us, of course, we'd also have to make the pre-delay a lot shorter. But in my case, I wanted something that sounded really, really long and, like it's in a large hall. And there you go. Now, these filters are really important. Some of these are resonances, and then down here I have a cutoff. If I were to remove that, actually, let's put them all up. Let's just focus on this one. We'd have a lot of resonance in the low end, so I make sure I duck that out, or I cut that out, sorry. So my other resonances can also shine through. If I push this even higher though, I can control how much the peaks are in relation to each other. So I have that also for some of the other instruments here that I worked on. This one I don't actually play here in the track, but check this out. So that sounds a lot like an organ. It sounds so real actually. And if I pitch this higher, oh, it sounds so distorted, but it sounds like a really dirty harmonica. And that's thanks to this noise that I've tuned. Using again the resonances, and I use the keyboard tracking to control that frequency. In this case, I'm doing it on all the frequencies, on all the filters, because I'm using multiple of them. So I have that assigned to the filter frequency offset. And yeah, that works really lovely for most of these sounds. Okay. And then inside the actual track though, I do have these sounds right here, these little accompaniments to the trumpet. Trumpet, bugle, however you want to think about it, but French horn, it's kind of in the lower register, but there you go. These are a little bit more harsh and shrill. This one would be even more shrill if I added the drive to it. I didn't want to be that aggressive with that. However, with the other one, I was a little bit more aggressive. And I also added a second saw wave that's really pitched low, really deep. If I take it off, everything becomes high resonances, but if I include the saw wave that's pitched really low, I have the deeper note to play. If I remove the drive, sounds much more similar to that other patch. And even this patch is inspired from the original Bram patch I made here. So it's actually not like a typical respace. as I'm only using one saw wave, instead I'm using the filter, and the fact that I have noise waves, and I use that to create that Reese phase distortion type of sound. And that's just so good, so rich and so thick. So yeah, I really like that. Those techniques to create more natural sounding stuff out of a subtractive synthesizer. I'm also using that technique here with these little accents. Although to a more limited degree. Now these percussions, some of these are based upon other patches that I made in some other videos that I made here for music marketing, so make sure to check out those videos out. But the main thing here is, again, I'm using, in this case, velocity to dictate how do you say, how loud and how much release I have some of the sounds. So you see, if I were to place this right here. Yeah, so I'm getting much more natural sounds once you program this type of really simple modulation from velocity to the actual release on the ADSR envelope, or the EG main sustain, as it's called here inside Twin 3. So yeah, just simply going here and adding it to the release, and you can change the linearity on the velocity. You can even have it affected negatively. So I think it's really cool that we can flip back and forth between those two different options. So I think it's really good to get crazy ideas out of this thing, and it's just lovely, and it sounds really real. I have the high quality on turned on in this case. As it sounds a little bit more realistic to my ears. Again, it depends per patch. And some of these patches I'm not using the high quality mode at all. But there you go. Let's go ahead and fix these guys up. Okay. What other sounds we got here? That's clap. Now this clap. Still need to work on it a bit, but it's based on my trap clap preset. It said the difference, I think, is I'm boosting right here around 1020 hertz. So just getting a notch and boosting it somewhere else will give you completely different tone out of the snare clap, or snare or clap. In this case, I'm using an LFO to modulate certain parameters here, such as the oscillator 3 level. And then I'm using 5 envelopes plus the main one over here. And they're all delayed by a little tiny bit, a couple milliseconds each. That's to create the envelope on the actual clap. If I load up this plugin called Scope, it's really easy to see this. So I can change how hard those individual hits are hitting. And then I can even use an LFO to modulate these individual hits, so I get more randomness and more analog-y feel out of everything. Of course, I leave it on free, and then I can change, how do you say, the modulation. That's just so fantastic. All right, I'm gonna call it right for this tracker here, and let's move on to the next one. All right, so here I have the last song idea I want to show you today, which is, it's like a mixture of like some Benny Benassi meets like acid house type of vibe. I really like it. It kind of feels like that, and also like a little bit of like the more modern hyper type of like house music like Skrillex makes sometimes when he makes house music. So this is just the first idea. I still haven't like actually scoped out the groove or any of that, but I really try to dial in the synthesizers, which is what I'm going to show you guys right now once I play back the demo. So let's go ahead and listen to this for a couple seconds, see how you guys like it. All right, so it's really simple right now. There's some drums. There's a lead synth that does the glitchy thing. Oh, it should be over here. And then we have a acid type of sound somewhere down here, I think. Oh, hold up, where is it? There you go. But it doesn't really sound like acid because it's so like high pass. And we don't really have like these super present accents that go like super high pitch like we did in the first demo that I showed you here from today. But here I have something that, you know, that's a bit deeper. So roughly around there. And the whole point of it is to like contrast a really high pitch to like not transient heavy, but like the right word should be sizzly. It's like really sizzly on top. And this is like a lot more darker, a lot more, how do you say, a lot more driven. I don't think I have the filters dialed in 100% yet, but I think I got a pretty good sweet spot. And if I were to show you the original idea that I had, which I might put like right here, right now. That sounds a lot more goofy than this idea. So, yeah, I think the sound came a long way since then. I might want to polish it a little bit more in the future, but so far, so good. Also, like dialing this in the stereo field is like super important. If I were to have this like too wide, the first sound, the little buzzy saw, sounds a lot more small. So I'm able to create some difference in both sounds. So basically I'm placing them somewhere different. And this is coming from a deeper, darker place in the background, whereas the saw is coming from the sides. So I think that's always really helpful. The other cool little thing that I have here is the kick drums made a little bit differently. I think the other kick drums that I have are more like a little bit more... How do you say it? They're a little bit more like a traditional 909, whereas this, it almost sounds like a modular made kick drum because you have the pitch envelope that does hit you, but then you have like this, like almost an exponential, an exponential like downward sloping sound wave at the low end. So instead of being like curved, it's like a, you know, lying down. And we could really see it with the wave candy right here. Whereas a 909 would sound a little bit more like this. Or let's see, it's... So yeah, that has like it feels more logarithmic the way it is, whereas this over here, it's so different, and that is thanks to the this amp that I'm using over here. And basically, I set it to neutral precision, some of them, and you can play around with them, and then. So you could set it either in the neutral position, or what I did in this case was I released the kick a tad bit longer than I usually would, but also did that with the envelope over here. Whereas if it was shorter, we'd have like this weird, like almost like a, how do you say, another ramp down there if this was even longer. Whereas if I were to have this all the way down, it just is slope all the way down immediately. So I wanted to create something that had a bit more ramp. And I could even do this more with a neutral sustain, but then I would have to pitch this a bit lower. And also probably tune some of these master tuning down a bit. And that sounds quite good too, I'm not gonna lie. Hear that with the track? Might be pitching a little bit too low now, but let's see. But there we go, it sounds really, really good either way. However, I did like how I left it because it has some character. And I didn't really mind having the the bouncier, like almost late 90s type of envelope on that kick. But yeah, that's how I made that. And I also have these little reggaeton toms that are a little bit more distorted than usual and with more decay. And that's just some noise. With a sine wave and resonance, and then a bit of distortion. And then I do have an envelope follower on that drive. Sometimes I could either use an envelope right here or transient to trigger it. So it could just depend on what you want to have. So yeah, and then there's also the ability to do that with an envelope here. Let me show you. Oh, my bad. I'm still on the kick. Let's go back. Oh, it's not the kick. It is the right thing. Probably just had to add more envelopes to have a result. But you can hear there how, like, if I drive the beginning click, I get some more punchiness, so it helps out a little bit when I'm designing those sounds. But anyhow, that's what I wanted to show you. Like I said, I might change the acid thing sound from over here to polish it up, because I feel like some of the resonances in the filter are not hitting that sweet spot quite yet, but I'm pretty happy with the way it is right now, especially in comparison to the little buzzy lead. And this, again, is a saw wave with the second saw wave being synced, and a low pass, high pass filter, and some notches. So I made a video where I kind of make the satisfaction sound. I'll leave that also down below in the comment section. And this is really similar to that type of sound. Not exactly the same, but really, really similar. So if you want to check out something that's really spot on with the satisfaction lead from Benny Benassi, I'd suggest you look at that video. I guess this is going to be it for this part of the video now. So what I'll do for the rest of the video is I'll have clips of me getting the ideas for some of the sounds and the melodies and the rhythms that I was writing, because there's so much music and I really enjoyed working on it, and I want to share that with you as well. So I think this first half of the video will be like 40 minutes long or so, and then the rest will just be like clips of me having happy accidents and seeing what I do with the synthesizer. Again, I really enjoy working with Twin 3. It's an absolute workhorse. It is so versatile. I can't think of other synthesizers where I can make everything within it, and I can make it sound so vastly different. From the low end, that's really nice and grungy, to something that's really clean and clinical, like a 909 kick, versus a grungy Bram sound that I made for the more orchestrally type of future bass sound. Whereas this needs a lot more distortion, a lot more grit in this type of sound that's a bit more high pitched. And then on top of that, I have these amazing filters that I can really push and pull, and I can change the different filter types. So it's really great. I mean, it'd be really impressive if we had a compressor and we could change the topologies on it, but that would be almost overkill for sound design. But in this case, I'm pretty sure there's some funny things going on in the background, and I'm pretty sure we can change between different types of compression in the background here. I'm not 100% sure if that's true, but I'm guessing there'll be some mystery behind that too, because I can certainly hear on the drive here. And I know this is not just a simple cutoff, like a high cut, because we can see that there's a change in the frequency response where some bands are getting really boosted, right? So I'm pretty sure there's lots of emulation going on in the background right here with these drive knobs and this chorus, phaser, reverb, and the compressor. I just know there has to be a lot of really good DSP being developed for those specific units, which is why I can get so many different timbres out of this synthesizer. Anyway, I'll call it for the day. If you have enjoyed this video so far, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with the rest of this FabFilter Twin 3 video series. Leave any comments regarding the tracks that you would like to see in the final EP. Again, I'm going to continue working on more tracks in the next video, and I'm also going to start finishing up some of these. For example, this one and the like orchestrally future bass type of one. I also want to finish it. I'm really excited about that one. And the hardstyle one I think should also be finished. And I think those three are like the ones that sound more solid to me. Again, I'm gonna go back and listen to the demos that I have and see what I stick with. But so far, those three I think I'm gonna keep. And yeah, I'm very excited of what these are going to turn out to and bloom into. And I just want to keep you guys updated for the rest of that. How do you say that venture? Because I'm gonna be doing this for the next couple weeks still. Anyway, yeah, enjoy the rest of the video. Enjoy the happy accidents that I show you. And again, if you have a favorite track, leave it down in the comment section below. And if you'd like to see me try another style of music that I haven't really tried before, I know there's micro tuning availability here. I haven't really delved into micro tuning before, so that'd be something that interests me. Anyway, oh, it's right there. The micro tuning is right there. Please enjoy the rest of the video, and I hope to catch you guys on the next one. Peace.